Hello everybody. Welcome to the first video of a brand new unit that will have us discovering how multiples and factors, how they work together to form multiplication problems and multiplication equations. And that leads us to a couple of symbols right off the bat that I just want to share with you. Oftentimes, many of you have seen, well, let's see, an addition sign look like that because that's an addition sign. And a subtraction symbol, not a minusing symbol, but in fact a subtraction symbol, looks like this. All right? What you're also going to see sometimes is, well, your standard issue multiplication symbol. But you're also going to see that this multiplication symbol right here will also look like this, and it will be an asterisk. And so sometimes I'll go back and forth, but just please be aware that these two mean the same thing. So without further ado, let's get right to the question here. So what we're going to do is we're going to work together to answer this question. How do you determine the multiples of a multi-digit number? Now, multiples are pretty hard to explain, but they're fairly straightforward. You know multiples as skip counting. 2, 4, 6, 8, who do we appreciate? Mr. Wilson. Or all kidding aside, these are multiples. So 2 and 4 and 6 and 8, you're skip counting. You're adding 2 to each number in the sequence. So now that you have your organizer ready to go in your hands, I'm just going to review the definition here. So multiples are a sequence of products using the same base number multiplied by different numbers. And in order to better explain what I mean by this, I'm going to use a good old-fashioned fact table right here. So let's go ahead and look at 4, okay? And I've circled 4 right over here. And I want to go ahead and I want to list the multiples of 4. And I'm basically going to look all the way down this chart, because you'll notice is that if you remember your skip counting rules and the songs that you may have learned in 2nd and 3rd grade, that everything in this column, okay, and everything in this row that I've circled the other one are the same thing, okay? And if I want to find the first multiple of 4, well, I know 4 times 1, because that's the first multiple of 4, equals 4. If I want to find the second multiple of 4, well, 4 times 2, or the second multiple of 4, is 8. And you'll see right here that I have 8. If I want to find the third multiple of 4, that would be 4 times 3, or the third multiple of 4, and that would be 12. The fourth multiple of 4 would be 4 times 4, because that's the fourth multiple, and that would equal 16. And if I want to go so far and actually find the fifth multiple of 4, I would have the 4 times the fifth multiple, which would be 20. So, with these multiplication equations I have over here on the left, you'll find out that they actually match the column over there on the right, because I have 4, 8, 12, 16, and 20. If you look over here, I have, well, let me erase this for you here so it's a little bit easier for you to see. If you look over on the right-hand column now, you'll see I have 4, 8, 12, 16, and 20. So basically, it's adding 4 to each new number. And if you look back at this definition that I had to start off with, where you see my pointer here, is that multiples are a sequence of products. These are products because they're the answer to an addition problem. All the products in a fact table will be right in here, okay? And that sequence of products uses the same base number, and my base number will be 4, okay? And that base number is multiplied by different numbers. And if you notice, I multiplied by a different number each time, and I came up with a different multiple. So there are a bunch of patterns that you can see all throughout a fact table, and we've talked about those in class. So we're going to go ahead and in the next few practice problems, we'll practice finding sequences of multiples. So for practice problem 1, what you're going to do is you're actually going to find the first 10 multiples of 8. So what I did, and you don't have to copy this entire thing, but instead use it as a guide, use it as a tool. Remember what we've said before in class, that using a multiplication table is not a sign of weakness. It's a math tool. It's used to help you, and it's used to help you grow and improve as a mathematician. So what I'd like you to do is to basically, down here, I will eventually list, when you hit play again, I'll list the first 10 multiples of 8. So push pause, find the first 10 multiples of 8. You can either start up here in that column, or you can start over here and find the first 10 multiples of 8. All right, so welcome back. So what you'll see that I've included now is these first 10 multiples of 8, 8 being the first one because 8 times 1 is 8, and 80 being the 10th because 8 times 10 is 80. And what you'll find is that those first 10 multiples are right here, and those first 10 multiples are right here, okay? So for practice problem 2, what you'll want to do is find the first 10 multiples of 5. Use the practice problem 1 as an example here. And also, you're going to find the first 6 multiples of 6. So again, use this chart as a tool. It's used to help you. For practice problem 3, what I'd like you to do is to find only the third multiple of 7. Okay, so it might be helpful to maybe list the multiples and then count and say, what's the first one, what's the second one, and what's the third one. And for that second part, you're going to find the fifth multiple of 12. So thanks again, everybody, for joining me for this one. And again, just to take us back to the beginning, to review, is that we work together to answer this question: how can we determine the multiples of a multi-digit number? See you in class, everybody.